Hi guys, this video is a requested video in part by Detski54 on the Totally GM modeling shots. So I thought I'd do a comparison of the Totally GM and the Totally MM and also the Neverfull GM. I bought this bag, this is the Totally GM, for travel. I had been using the Neverfull GM for travel, but the concern over the cracking of the straps whenever I had to bend it to put it underneath airplane seats. So I generally store the Neverfull hanging by the handles like this. So what I found was when I travel to get the bag under the seat, I have to bend it quite a lot, so making it more susceptible to cracking right here. So I wanted a larger tote that I could use for travel, so I love the Totally MM, so I looked at the Totally GM, which it's perfect. Side by side, comparable in size, and I'll give you the measurements in just a second. So the Totally GM can certainly take the place of my Neverfull GM. Just quickly, the Totally GM measurements, hang on just a second. The width at the bottom is 13.5, the width at the top is 18.5, the height is 14, and the depth is 7. The strap drop is 10.5. So you can load this one up and be very comfortable because the straps are very comfortable. Comparing that to the dimensions of the Neverfull GM, at the top, opened up all the way, it's 21 inches. So it's a little bit wider at the top, if it's stretched out like this, than the Totally GM. At the bottom, the width is 15, so a little bit, 1.5 inches wider on the Neverfull GM. The height is 13, so this is just a little bit shorter, and the depth is 7.5, so ½ inch bigger. So you can see comparable in size. The strap drop on this one is 8, so you've got a lot more strap drop on the Totally GM, making it a little more comfortable, especially if you're loading it up for travel. So let me do modeling shots, and then I'll compare the Totally GM with the Totally MM. The Neverfull GM, I'm 5'4", and the Totally GM. This is the Totally MM, and I have a review up on that, so you can check that out. I'll put the link below. The measurements on this one, at the bottom it's 13 inches, so comparable at the bottom to the Totally GM. At the top, the width is 16, so about 2.5 inches shorter at the top than the Totally GM. The height is 12, so it's 2 inches shorter than the GM, and the depth is 6, so only an inch narrower than the GM. Show you side by side. This is the MM on the left and the GM on the right. Modeling shots, this is the Totally MM. Compared to the Totally GM. I use the Totally MM regularly as a everyday bag. I love it. I think it could be a little bit bigger for my taste, but I tend to like a bigger bag. I only use the Totally GM when I need a big tote or when I'm traveling. But if you like a big bag, then this certainly could work for you. They're almost identical in the interior. They both have 2 patch pockets on one side and a large patch pocket on the other. So comparable in size. They both have the side pockets, which are really useful if you're carrying water, camera, phone, anything that you want to get to quickly. So that's my quick comparison of the Totally GM and Neverfull GM. Like I say, this is a great travel bag. That's why I bought it, and I bought it to kind of take the place of my Neverfull GM. If you have questions, leave them below. Thanks. Have a great week.